Hi, I'm Kira Allen, and this is The Breakdown. The audition process for Run for me started over 2 years ago now, in July of 2018. My manager submitted me for the role. I got a self-tape audition request, like many other self-tape audition requests I've gotten before. And I shot the video on an iPhone in my house, and my mom read the lines off camera and submitted it. After that, I got an email saying that the director, Anish Chaganty, wanted to talk to me. So I had a Skype call with him. We talked about the character and the story. They sent me the full script. And so I had a better understanding of the character's full arc going into my second round of self-tapes. And then after that, they actually flew me out to LA, and I did an in-person audition with Anish and Seven Nat, the main team behind the film, and all filmed for Lionsgate. And then after that, I had my chemistry read with Sarah. They flew me out one last time to LA to read with Sarah, and that was my last audition. A few days later, I got a call from Anish. He told me he wanted to talk to me on Skype so that he could see my face when he told me the news, and I got on, and he just said, "You're it."
Will she be okay?
This is one of the best representations of a disabled character I've ever seen in a script. I felt that way. I actually emailed Anish, the director, that like right after I read the script and said, whatever happens with casting, I just can't wait to see this movie because the representation in this is unlike anything I've ever seen on screen before. And I'm so thrilled that they were looking to cast authentically as well, which just makes it that much better. Yeah, I really connect with the portrayal of this character because her disability is a part of her identity, but it doesn't define her. It doesn't define her journey. It's part of her history. It's part of how she moves around, but she gets to be so many other things, which is, how I feel about myself as well. So, I mean, I think if I'd been younger and had seen a film like this that portrayed a wheelchair user like this, it would have made a big difference to me. So I hope it does to other people too, not only to disabled people, but also to able-bodied people. Because lack of representation affects everyone. Just to see this normalized, to see to see a disabled action hero, and to see the casting of a real wheelchair user normalized, I think that's going to be really powerful for a lot of people.
Am I a burden?
Sweetheart,
I could do more.
I'm your mom. It's my job to take care of you when you need me. And you need me.
This is a psychological thriller. So it's the stakes. I think people will be able to relate to what Chloe's going through in a lot of ways because it's what a lot of us go through at 17. Is you're looking to get out of the house and break away from your childhood, maybe go off to college, see the world, all of these things, and there are definitely scary parts of that and hard parts of that, but this movie ratchets that way up because it's in the thriller genre. All of those fears and all of those difficulties, the stakes of them are just that much higher. And so I think what's really wonderful about this film is it starts from a very real, very relatable place, but it takes it to such an extreme so that when we do get to those extremes and to that terror, it's still connected to something very real and something that I think it's something that a lot of people will be able to relate to personally. And so I think that's what keeps the movie heightened and grounded at the same time.
Are you okay, Mom?
Of course I'm okay. I have you.
Sarah is amazing. I had just the best time with her. We didn't have that much time together in pre-production. She was working on American Horror Story right before coming onto set, and so we only had a few days before we started shooting to kind of get to know each other and to build this relationship. So we just spent a lot of time together. We went out to eat a few times. We had this day of just kind of playing around in a parking lot, and we're holding hands and spinning around and laughing and just kind of getting to know each other. And I was actually worried when we started shooting, and we started shooting with these very kind of everyday fun mother-daughter relationship scenes that happen early in the film. And so I was worried. I was like, oh my God, is she just being nice to me because she wants to build this relationship and she wants it, she wants the love to seem real? Is she just being so loving and supportive because it's part of her character building? And oh God, if that's the case, how's she going to treat me when things get really intense between our characters? But I was very lucky to discover early on that that was not at all the case. She is just a lovely, wonderful person and has always been so kind to me and so supportive. And so even as things were getting really crazy and intense between our characters, we kept this very, very close bond, which was really helpful as well for some of these scenes, because it made it even more heartbreaking, because the love felt so real and the relationship was so real, that to then take that and twist that and bring that love into scenes where I'm really questioning and feeling betrayed, having that reality to it was an extremely important part of shooting those scenes, I think.